Hey guys, vryBot here. Just a few logistical things. Wanted to let you know we're going to be leaving the first puzzle up during the intro every day. I wanted to thank you guys for being here. I really enjoy doing these puzzles daily with you. Make sure you check in every single day and I'll be here posting. It looks like we're doing about 10 puzzles per day. I thought for some reason I could get in 20, but logistically it's just not working. So we're going to do 10 every day. We're going to look at vryBot.com. That's VRYBOT. We're going to do this on every video just so that you guys get accustomed to what the website looks like. So we stream on Twitch, then we'd be live right here. Streaming on Kick or YouTube, it'd be down below, all embedded in the front page of the live stream page. Community tab, that's basically Discord. You can see who's online and you can send messages from this page. All you have to do is click here and you will get invited. You'll get your invite link and onboarded. You'll become part of the community and we all interact together there. You can always find clips, highlights, different stuff on this page. We have other gaming, games, puzzles, things like that, all featured on the gallery page. As for services, I am a chess coach. I'm an international chess expert, and I've been a coach for over 25 years. If you need coaching, make sure that you're clicking on this in vryBot.com. You go to services and you click on coach. There's a coaching blog that a post that I posted for you real quick, give you some details, and you're welcome to give me any questions that you have on the community page. You can contact me. Very easy. You can check out the rest of our blog entries here on the blog. And if you ever feel like supporting the channel in any way financially, we have a tips page. We would really appreciate it. It helps with the live streams and the video productions. Appreciate you guys. Want to say thank you for being here. And let's get rolling. Okay, maybe it doesn't need to be said. It's here the whole time that I'm presenting. But you are more than capable of pausing the video or reaching the end and checking out the bio for these links anytime you want, really. So just wanted to let you know that those are there in case you couldn't see them. And it's day 3 for puzzling. Let's go! Okay, it's a beautiful day. We're alive. We're back with you. And what an amazing puzzle. I don't even know how to get started with this. I did take a look at the puzzle before going live, and I noticed a few things. There's a lot of movement in this puzzle with the way of several good moves, and that gets me thinking about the book. There was one blunder before we got done with 20 puzzles, and it made me question every single time, you know, is there really a tactical combination here that's just so impressive and so good? And this one surprised me because there's a lot of good moves. I looked at the answer later, but I want to show you what I found. So, oops, we have to flip the board. Let's go ahead and flip that board. Okay, this is what I found. I really liked this move, and I wouldn't get it out of my mind. And after I calculated it all, I found that it works, but it's so deep. It's crazy deep. In fact, I'm going to have to suggest that you check it out with your own analysis and even a computer. I'm going to say it. You need to check this with a computer. It's intense. After knight takes, which seems pretty obvious, I was going to take the rook. If he ever takes here, you know, we have a simple liquidation of pieces. But then I noticed bishop to h7, which is just intense. This is crazy. This, you're going to have to check all this with a computer. There's rook escapes this way, and then there's this crazy move, queen to b2, which is threatening this, and the rest is highly complicated. Just for your information, if you want to know what was suggested in the book's answer key, it was just simply knight to c1, and this is going to win material. It's simple enough, and it's actually stronger than my move. It turns out to be the strongest move on the board. But anyway, knight captures d4 is possible. It was what I wanted to make work. And after all that analysis, it seems that knight c1 is just so much clearer. So make clear moves. Or there's two ways to look at this. Find the moves that are correct and clear, or you are more than welcome to do all the work to try and make your ideas work in the end. If they don't, sometimes you're throwing all that work away and just truncating it. Oh well, you learned something, you did some exercise, it's pretty cool. That's what puzzles are for, okay? But if you can sometimes step away from that with any kind of clue, maybe you'll move on to a more clear plan. Knight to c1 is just so much clearer and easier. Okay, that was a long and intense analysis on just puzzle number 21, the number one for our day. We're getting back into the checks, captures, and threats. We don't want to forget about any of that today, and we may even have something to say about the threats from now on. I was trying to make things like this work, knight to f6, which is check, and it opens up the queen on the queen, which is nice. Queen can take, she's guarded, so scratch all that. We're just going to jump into our three things, look for checks, captures, and threats. So, is there any checks? Well, queen takes f7 is no good. The knight to f6 we just figured out is no good. So luckily, what my eye spotted wasn't a total waste of time. It's part of the process of solving the puzzle. So, I do have a discovery here, which is neat, that we uncorked this and we figure this out. But it's not the discovery that's going to work. In fact, there is a discovery that's going to work. We're just going to have to find it. It's different than what I was first planning. Let's look at threats. So we got the checks and the captures out of the way. They're not so great. There's a knight to e7 move. It's not very good at all. There's knight takes e7, guarding the queen at the same time. So if we play this, they play this. They guard their queen. So if we take, we actually don't gain anything at all. We're quite sad. So what we need to do is reset and look for more moves. So threats. Now that we've noticed that there's a discovery, it got my mind onto the discovery idea, which is neat. And then I found a different discovery. So here I want to look for threatening moves, and I could see that one cool threatening move that I have is knight. How did that arrow get there? Knight to d3. All right, this knight attacks a rook and opens up our rook on c4 to attack the queen. Luckily, we're guarded here, so this is a surefire way to attack and threaten the queen. We're also threatening a rook at the same time. So, we're going to win some material. Likely, we just pick up the rook. Okay, so I'm always excited to do puzzles, especially when I spot moves, key moves right away. When I saw this puzzle, I spotted the moves right away. And then I looked up at the title of what they suggested the puzzle tactic was. So often in this book in particular, they will show the diagram and they will show that it's either white or black to move. Usually I like to figure that out for myself. And then they have a little blurb on top that says what tactic is part of the puzzle. If I remember right, this tactic said removal of the guard, or removing the guard. I usually call that remove the defender, but that's just a little bit of terminology difference. No big deal. But I can't see how this is a removal of the guard or remove the defender in any way. My eye went immediately to bishop e4, which is a really cool move. We're guarded. The knight is pinned. And I think originally, if they had composed a puzzle or was a similar one or switched them, they might have intended rook takes, some kind of puzzle where rook takes, because this guy could be a guard to the king or a guard to other maybe key squares in the position. I thought the queen was definitely a guard, but I don't see how we're removing the guard. We are hitting the queen, and actually Bobby Fischer would call this an X-ray. Okay, well, I don't know if Bobby Fischer wrote that book, but there's a book called Bobby Fischer Teaches Chess, and it was one of the first times that someone really dug down and dig into the X-rays, exactly what they are. They're a bit like pins, a bit like skewers, but they're not exactly like either one. X-rays are when pieces are connected through other pieces or attacking through other pieces. So if queen takes, bishop takes, and I'm still going to trap this rook in the back, and that's why the move works. Also, it does need to be mentioned that this pin is alive. That's why the knight can't just take. If queen takes, the knight takes. Our queen still is not on pre to the knight because of the pin. And in fact, on queen takes, queen just takes. So bishop to e4 jumped out immediately. It's not the tactic that they mentioned in the title, but I will call this an X-ray. So it's been really fun bringing you material every day. I'm learning stuff all the time. I'm learning that I am taking a long time in analyzing these. So we're going to speed up a little bit. I just want to show you a really quick breakdown of this position. On captures, it's black to move. There's knight takes here. There is rook takes here. That's a very equal move though if we just take here and take there. That's just a bunch of fair exchanges. We don't necessarily just want to liquidate or simplify all of our position over and over. That's beginner chess. So what we want to do is find more complicated things. Let's look for those checks and captures. I know I just jumped to a capture first. Let's look at the checks first. That's what we should have done. Bishop to e5, d4 check. We hit the king and the knight at the same time. But what's interesting about this is, sure, they can move the king. And we can take the knight. And if you look further, they might even take our rook. But where this bishop lands is guarding that square. Beautiful. Okay, now we're getting into a realm where chess is very beautiful. In the ends of the game of chess, the end games, you can literally calculate, if it were possible, you could calculate to the end and solve the position. It could be win, lose, or draw. No questions. In fact, computers have done this. There's things called table bases that have solved, last I heard, up to 7-man board positions. So that means 7 pieces on the board. They can solve them perfectly every single time. So the truth in the end game can actually be found. And that means it's actually simpler for our human brain to pick up on these signals. This is a case of endgame tactics. There's still tactics to be played just because the pieces are gone. There's 2-4-5 versus 2-4-5. It's a rook and a rook, and a knight versus a bishop. Now, bishops and knights, they have their imbalance. They have their battle. Which one's better? Open positions, closed positions, this and that. But it's the end game, and there are pawns on both sides of the board that usually favors a bishop. You can go through all these different rules and try to learn them, and I do suggest that you try to learn them. But here, this is just so beautiful that there's a tactic in the endgame which supersedes all those things. This again is another trapping, and we can play the move b3, and a lot like a Bobby Fischer game where he was playing for the world championship, played bishop takes pawn on the side of the board. Spassky played a move with his pawn to trap the bishop, and then he brought his king over and gobbled it up. We can do the same thing here, or a similar thing. If the bishop takes, the rook takes. If the bishop comes down, we're just going to take it. We can play a series of different moves, whatever black would like to do here. Who knows? Probably resign. We come over, we scoop up the bishop. Beautiful, amazing puzzle. Yes. More simple puzzles. If you don't get fired up about that, then what gets you fired up? I don't know. Well, I love quick and easy puzzles. It gives me the confidence to know that I'm doing something well, and then I know I can save some energy and move on to the next one. Here, I can see that I want to play queen to e7. The opponent won't let me. He's put his rook here, and he's guarding it, but I can take that rook with check. So when we're looking for checks and captures, well, sometimes we can capture a piece and give a check. That's fantastic. With a threat, too? What, are you kidding me? We're going to go queen to e7 on the next turn. So if they go takes, we have a simple plan. We just capture there. I had to calculate in my mind all of this because I don't want to blunder anything, make sure I don't lose somehow. Okay, so I just calculated the rest out in my mind, but that's me. If you do the same, I would like to encourage you to continue doing the same thing. On to the next. This puzzle might deceive you at first, the way it did me, but if you count the material, then you won't be confused, right? So let's do that for white. We have 2, 4, 5 pawns versus 2, 4, 6 pawns. Black is up a pawn. Uh-oh. We have 2 bishops and 2 rooks. They have a knight and a bishop and 1 rook. All right. Well, the queens are perfectly countered, and the kings, of course, are very balanced. So, looks like we're down 1 pawn, but we're up 1 rook. Rook to the good. All right, we're at least 4 pawns to the good. That means that we want to simplify the position, liquidate our pieces, stop whatever black is doing, attacking us, not to mention, we're in check. And we're going to try to liquidate the pieces off the board so that our force is felt. When you have more pieces in your army, your force is going to be felt. And that's because these pieces can do things. So you're going to have pieces that can influence the chessboard and all the number of squares on the board, whereas the opponent can do less than you. All right. Sorry for the long and drawn out complication, but queen to f5. Isn't that cool? Now, if pawn takes, the whole time, this was in my eye, because when looking for checks and captures, it's the very first thing that I noticed on the board when I was first analyzing the puzzle. So it stayed in the back of my mind the whole time. I realized that I need to liquidate. I need to stop this check at all costs, but also leaving my opportunity open to jump my rook. Again, rooks don't jump, they slide. Slide my rook all the way up to d8. Okay, if queen takes with check, same idea. Queen takes with check. I can take, now they do have a free move. That's what's interesting here. The computer was suggesting knight to c6. It's good, but remember we're still up, not a whole rook, down a pawn, so we're up 4 pawns. But we can go for more trades. They take here, we take here. If they take our rook, of course, we just trade down. They get another pawn. That's okay. We're in a winning position. So that means we solved the puzzle. Pat on the back. Plus, we made it through this day number 3, and we're going to move on to day 4 tomorrow. So with that, I'd just like to thank you again for being here. If you have any comments or criticisms, you're welcome to make them in this video. Down below should be a comment section. Go ahead and leave that for me, and I respond as quickly as I can. When I upload these videos, I'm actually leaving a comment immediately so you can see what time I'm uploading. We're doing a roughly 12, 1, 2, or 3. Can't tell you exactly when, but we are daily. You can count on that. Again, thanks for being here. One more time, I'm a advanced certified coach in the United States with a certification for that. I'm also an international chess expert. I'm a FIDE rated expert. You can connect with me on vryBot.com. If you want to support the channel, there is a tips page set up on Streamlabs. If you want to connect with me or the community that is already connected with me, jump in there. Some extras are featured in that Discord channel as well. Of course, the rest is here. You can find all of these in the bio. An opportunity to get subscribed. Just click on the big circle of my cartoon face, or move on to the next video, or move on to any of the previous videos in the playlist. Thanks again. See you next time.